I'm uploading 2 videos right now.
It comes as a new TV ad campaign is being launched to encourage all under 50s across the UK to say yes when they're offered a shot. It's important to remember that younger people are still
India's big news today.
COVID. They're still at
They
risk
broke
of
another
severe
record
disease.
for a number
Of
of
course,
infections
there are other side
in a
effects such as
24-hour
long
period.
COVID that can be a consequence of this virus. So it's really crucial that everybody is vaccinated. When you get your text, make a booking, come forward, get the jab, protect yourself, protect others. Now, Scotland will see the biggest easing of restrictions today since it went into nationwide lockdown more than 4 months ago. Shops, bars and restaurants are reopening and people can travel across the border for non-essential travel. Our Scotland correspondent Alexander Mackenzie is at a pub outside Glasgow for us this morning. It's a big day, isn't it? Morning.
Good morning. Yes, it is a very big day. There's quite a lot happening in Scotland today. Things are going to feel much more normal from today. Hospitality, like here, is going to open up and there will be some restrictions, but Scotland is the only place in the UK where you're going to be able to have a meal inside, but you can't have alcohol inside, and closing will be early at 8 p.m. But if you want to have a drink or have a drink with your meal, you can come to a beer garden like this one. There will be 1 metre social distancing. You can see the tables are quite spread out here, and everyone will have to give their contact details, and there's a new app that you can download onto your phone. It's called Check-in Scotland, and you can meet in slightly larger groups from today. If you're outside, like here in the beer garden, you can meet with up to 6 people, and that's with up to 6 different households. If you are inside, you can still meet with up to 6 people, but that's going to be with only 2 households. And another big thing that's going to happen today, that's going to be retail is opening. So if you want to hit the shops, you can do that from today. Also, if you want to go to the gym, you can do that from today, and you can also
In context, she meant households, but she said high schools. And then she said households.
With us throughout the morning, Alexander, thank you very much.
It's about meeting at a beer garden.
Hospitality venues in Wales can start serving people outside from this morning as well. Organised outdoor activities will also be allowed for up to 30 people.
She said
as well as
up to 6 different high schools.
The former chief executive of the Post Office has said she is truly sorry for the suffering caused to some postmasters who were wrongly convicted of criminal offences. Reverend Paula Venables issued the apology as she announced she would be stepping back from public roles as well as her regular church duties in the wake of the scandal. On Friday, judges quashed the convictions of 39 former Sub postmasters who, due to an IT flaw, had wrongfully been found guilty of theft and fraud. 10 fire engines are dealing with a huge blaze on Marsden Moor near Huddersfield in West Yorkshire. The flames cover an area equivalent to 5 football pitches. 2 specialist wildfire units have also been sent to the scene there. This comes about 2 years to the day since the devastating fire destroyed over 700 hectares of land in the same area.
See the headlines as they happen and watch BBC News live in the app and get the full story with bbc.co.uk/news. Follow the story for all the latest with BBC News.
That was Scotland. She was talking about Scotland. Beer gardens and 6 different high schools and 6 different
At a
households.
time when we've been told that we should talk about positivity, that question should be in fact asked, or at least their opinion should be taken of the people, the number of people, the ambulances, those who are standing right here where I am. This is the very new, in fact, addition to the existing infrastructure of the COVID-19 in the national capital. This is the Sardar Patel COVID Care Center at the Radha Swami Chhatarpur, where I'm standing right now, gentlemen. 500 oxygen bedded, in fact, facility here. And today, it has been opened. I will tell you more about this. Numerous, I mean, the line of ambulance doesn't end, and this is the case everywhere that you will see all across the country. Before I tell you more about the struggles of the people, because it is important for everybody to know the ground reality so that we can prepare better. Let me first tell you where the coronavirus numbers stand today. Active cases in the country now at 13,658 cases. So far, 1,95,123 people have lost their lives. Cases in the last 24 hours once again skyrocketing.
Deaths in India are almost 2 million.
2,991 cases of coronavirus. 2,812
Oh no,
people have lost their lives.
195,000.
Mere
They have a
statistics
comma
for
in the
many,
wrong
but for
place.
those who have lost their life, it is the most shattering experience that they could go through.
I guess that's how they do it in India.
So it's imperative that I start giving you by giving you an update first of the numbers as far as the national capital is concerned. In Delhi, in the last 24 hours, if you take a look at the numbers, so far 22,000
on this screen, the commas are in the right place.
Deaths. Active cases in the national capital are 94,592, and deaths till date 14,248. In fact, is the number of deaths so far which have taken place in the national capital. All right, there is huge crisis as far as the COVID-19 wave is concerned in the country.
You said
And
vape.
oxygen in the national capital has become the most precious commodity. Hospitals are struggling.
He said vape
People
is
have been
concerned.
left to try and get oxygen for their loved ones in order to, in fact, just make sure that their suffering ends, or they are at least able to give them a fighting chance. It's a desperate attempt. I was outside at one such oxygen refilling plant today, and what I saw just breaks the heart. The way, the sense of abandonment that people have, the way the people have been left to fend for themselves. It's a race against time for patients of many of these people standing with empty oxygen cylinders in this long serpentine queue outside a refilling station here in the national capital, as hospital after hospital is struggling with their quota of oxygen. Desperate people are trying to make their own arrangements, get these oxygen cylinders to try and give few hours of breath to their relatives, those who are struggling to breathe because of the COVID-19. But the sense of abandonment and frustration here is quite apparent.
अब हॉस्पिटल में तो हमारे पेशेंट नहीं लिए जा रहे सर, हमारे हॉस्पिटल में पेशेंट नहीं लिए जा रहे, हमारे पेशेंट हॉस्पिटल में नहीं लिए जा रहे, ऑक्सीजन हॉस्पिटल में जा रही है, तो ये बताओ हम कहाँ जाएंगे? हमें डॉक्टर कह रहा है आप घर पे इलाज कराओ, तो हम कैसे देंगे ऑक्सीजन? बताओ।
हम 5-6 जगह ट्राई करा, कुछ नहीं, पेशेंट को भी हम साथ में लाए,
पेशेंट कहाँ पर हैं?
उसमें गाड़ी में, वो बोल भी नहीं पा रहे।
It's difficult to report what is happening in Delhi. This lady, Neena Bhatia, has been told by hospitals after hospitals, try and search for bed at somewhere else. If you try and search, you even get God. Possibly getting God, searching for God in Delhi is easier right now than to get a hospital bed. This gentleman that you see sitting behind me in this auto is Ramesh Bhatia, 62-year-old COVID positive patient who has gone from one hospital to another in hope of an oxygen bed, which he has not been able to get. Now, with the help of the auto rickshaw driver, they have come here to a refilling center in hope that they would be able to get a cylinder and will possibly go back and take their chance there. The situation is so bad that not just the common people, but hospitals have sent their ambulances, which are meant to transport patients right now, to try and get a refill, to try and get cylinders back to the hospitals, because The smaller hospitals particularly depend on these oxygen cylinders, and the problem is that they are getting no supply. Okay, we get to a very detailed report because there are many voices that I wanted to put out. Due to the lack of time, we've not been able to put out the entire report. We'll get to that report in just a short while from now. But why is Delhi facing such a severe crisis? Let me just give you a sense of why are we facing such massive crisis as far as oxygen is concerned. The daily quota of Delhi, the daily demand of Delhi is about 700 metric tons. The old quota by the centre was 378 metric tons, and revised quota allocated by the centre 480 metric tons. Now, a reality check on April 22, out of the allocated quota of 480, Delhi got 380 metric tons. On 23rd, Delhi got 309 metric tons. On 24th, Delhi got 480 metric tons, 335 metric tons out of the 480 metric tons, in fact, was what Delhi got. Okay, I just told you that I am outside the newly made facility, COVID facility here at the Radha Swami Satsang Vyas in Chandrapur. Very, very desperate people, coming here. Many of them have been turned away because there is a process that is, you will see ambulances after ambulances just lining up, and you have to in fact register first before you come here. It's not a walk-in, but people, those who have been turned away from every place are just trickling in here. I just saw in fact trying to get some help for this patient. They've just come in an ambulance here, and they've been trying to get some help at this moment. It's just too much.
That fat or
as far as
mold?
people are concerned. They are just only trying to get their patients admitted. Not, it's going everywhere, trying everywhere. It's just not happening. I mean, people here have to register before they come here. But the desperate scenes that you see outside these hospitals, these facilities, I just want to very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, just come here and I want to give you a sense. All of these people are waiting for some kind of help that they can get from this place, running from one hospital to another, trying to get a bed inside this facility. Only 500 beds are working here. You have to first register before you can get a confirmation, and only then you can come. But it's a desperate situation for most, and all they are trying to do is trying to get help for themselves. This has been the new, in fact, facility which has been opened, but simply with the current magnitude of the crisis, simply not enough. The situation, as infrastructure is crumbling at the hospitals, and for lack of oxygen, for lack of beds, people are also facing problems as far as crematoriums are concerned. Even the last silent goodbye is a struggle. Take a look at this report filed by my colleague, Kriti Chaudhary.
We're at the Simapuri cremation grounds. They've extended the ground here because the number of bodies that are coming in, COVID positive bodies, are far, far more than the capacity of the Simapuri cremation grounds. There are short of body bags. A lot of other NGOs have stepped in to help, but as we speak, there is a waiting. There are people standing there with the bodies of their loved ones, waiting for them to get cremated, to cremate the bodies. And there's a huge queue. People have been waiting here for many hours just to get their turn, just to get their turns to burn, cremate their loved ones. Reporting with camera person Hitesh, Kriti Chaudhary at the Simapuri cremation grounds for India Today. At the Simapuri crematorium grounds, everywhere you look, there are only fires burning. each to their own. This is the parking lot viewers. This is the crematorium. People practically wheeling in their own, the bodies of their own loved ones, their own wood. This is the parking lot. This now been converted into a crematorium. The capacity of the Seema Puri crematorium used to be 11. Since the morning today, 6 a.m. They've already burned over 100 fires, 100 bodies here. Reporting with camera person Hitesh Kumar, PT Chaudhary, for India Today.
Now, after the crisis has taken the magnitude where life is so cheap right now in Delhi. I mean, people are just in a condition where they would do anything for a can of oxygen cylinder, for a bed in the hospital. Suddenly we see all these, in fact, efforts being made much with a lot of publicity as well. One, in fact, for the national capital, which is struggling for oxygen, a big relief would possibly be the oxygen train which is coming to the national capital. It is carrying about 70 tons of oxygen. The Oxygen Express carrying 4 oxygen tankers is en route Delhi and is expected to arrive tonight. The supply is expected to bring much needed relief to the national capital. The railways decided to ferry oxygen from the Raigarh Jindal Steel Plant to Delhi after its first 2 train loads with tankers were successfully transported the life-saving gas. The railways have chalked out plans to transport
I said all Satanists gasp for oxygen. Firmly affirm. Firmly affirm. Firmly affirm. To the power of an infinite number of infinities.
This, as several hospitals in the national capital have raised an arm for exhausting oxygen supply that they have. The government has
An angel says Satanists are gasping for oxygen. Firmly affirm. Firmly affirm.
The tankers right now. A big question, in fact, would also be why was the Delhi government not ready when all other states government, or at least few other states government, were already making preparations for tankers for transportation of oxygen?
मुख्यमंत्री जी को इतनी नॉलेज तो होनी चाहिए कि टैंकर की जिम्मेदारी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की होती है, सेंटर की जिम्मेदारी जो होती है वो ऑक्सीजन को प्रोवाइड करना होता है। ऐसे तो मुख्यमंत्री वाला कोई उन्होंने काम किया नहीं पिछले 6 साल में, विज्ञापन मंत्री हैं वो इस देश के, लेकिन कम से कम
I said all Satanists have the needs of gods, ascended gods, but none of God's universe, none of the matter in God's universe. Firmly affirm. Firmly affirm.
विज्ञापन छोड़ के मुख्यमंत्री जी कुर्सी पे बैठी।
दिसंबर के अंदर 8 ऑक्सीजन प्लांट लगाने के लिए पैसे आए पड़े थे दिल्ली सरकार के पास, और दिल्ली सरकार ने एक प्लांट चालू करके कोई भी प्लांट शुरू नहीं किए। तो क्या इस समय में वो ऑक्सीजन के प्लांट्स शुरू होंगे जो कि अभी हाल फिलहाल में पीएम केयर ने 541 प्लांट्स और जो है वो घोषित किए हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट के हिसाब से। दूसरी चीज, जो ऑक्सीजन केंद्र सरकार दिल्ली सरकार को दे भी रही है, क्या उसका बेड्स के मुताबिक अस्पतालों को दिया जाएगा?
Okay, so as you heard, ladies and gentlemen, in fact, politics there continues with the BJP attacking Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, and at this moment, in fact, the government also, in an attacking mode as far as the center is concerned, and in between, the people are literally struggling to save the lives of their loved ones. Now, I just want to, in fact, tell you a little bit more about this facility which is behind me. This is ITBP run Sardar Patel COVID Care Center in Chhatarpur area, which has become operational today. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal visited the 500-bed facility and said 200 ICUs will be added to this center very soon. He thanked the central government for providing doctors and medical staff from the ITBP. Meanwhile, BJP has slammed the Chief Minister and calling his visit a photo op. Standard operating procedures for patients will be strictly followed in the center. No walk-in admissions have been allowed here.
दिल्ली सरकार ने निर्णय लिया है कि 18 साल से ऊपर की उम्र के लोगों को फ्री
Satanists might have starved whoever they think I am, or
और बड़े स्तर के ऊपर कैसे लोगों को वैक्सीन किया जाए इसका पूरा प्लान तैयार किया जा रहा है.
not me,
हम लोगों ने दिल्ली में
but a Satanist who's actually taken the torture.
वैक्सीन खरीदने की मंजूरी दी है. वैक्सीन के एक निर्माता ने कहा है कि वो राज्य सरकारों को 400 रुपए में देंगे.
Anyway, they might have starved that female and thrown food away in front of her after eating.
150 रुपए में देंगे. मेरी उम्मीद है कि इसको एक ही प्राइस होना चाहिए, अलग अलग प्राइस नहीं होने चाहिए. मैं वैक्सीन मैन्युफैक्चरर से अपील करता हूँ कि एक तरफ वो खुद भी इस प्राइस को
I hadn't had that yet.
पूरी जिंदगी बढ़िया प्रॉफिट कमाने के लिए. ये
I knew it was more
कोरोना जब महामारी इतने बड़े स्तर
something
पे
else.
फैली है, लोगों से प्रॉफिट कमाने का टाइम नहीं है.
Okay, so the Chief Minister of Delhi also today announcing, as you heard, that the vaccine would be given free, so from 1st May, but the big question would be, where would the vaccines come from? Do the governments have enough quota, in fact, as far as the vaccine are concerned? Now, from Delhi, let's go to Maharashtra, in fact, where the situation also remains critical. Few of the people here, in fact, those have been turned away. It's just, okay, wait, before we go to Maharashtra, I just want to show you more, in fact, scenes of what is going on. As we speak, there are patients in the ambulances, those who are lying there waiting for their turn at this moment. And the lady, in fact, they're not well. A lot of severe, critically ill patients are coming here, and the problem is that they have been turned away because walk-ins are not allowed here. आप भी वेट कर रहे हैं अपने पेशेंट के एडमिशन का, एम्बुलेंस में से हैं, तो नहीं जाने दे रहे अभी.
पता नहीं क्या अपडेट करे, कोई सही से कोई बात करे तभी तो है ना. वो आपको देख लीजिए, हम तो लिस्ट बता रहे, लिस्ट में जिसका नाम वो है नहीं अवेलेबल.
जो लोगों का जिन्होंने पहले से रजिस्टर कराया सिर्फ उनको
एक्सटेंड कराया. हमारे को हम लिस्ट बोल रहे हैं, कुछ बंदे को फिर क्रिटिकल कह रहे हैं, फिर ऐसे देख देख के हर किसी को भेज रहे हैं, और जिसकी वो हालत देख रहे हैं उसको भेज रहे हैं.
आपके पेशेंट है,
पेशेंट रमीजी से मेरी वाइफ है. ध्यान दीजिए इसमें गाड़ी में
अभी अंदर से वेट कर रहे हैं.
सारे बेड फुल हो चुके हैं, ऑक्सीजन वाले अभी अवेलेबल नहीं है बेड. आप लोग बीएसओ के थ्रू अपना रजिस्ट्रेशन जिन्होंने कर रखा है कर लीजिए, और कॉल का वेट कीजिए. जैसे कॉल आती है आपको या आपका रजिस्ट्रेशन होता है तो आपको बुलाया जाएगा. आपके लिए कोई भी अभी फिलहाल कोई अवेलेबिलिटी नहीं है बेड की.
What has just been announced, and it will fall as a ton of bricks for a lot of people, that the availability of the oxygen beds here is now not, in fact, the quota is full. There are no oxygen beds which are available here. Everybody else who has even registered, they will have to now wait.
Setting posts without mixing. Whether you are building a fence, setting a mailbox, or even a basketball goal, the best way to make sure your posts will stay sturdy and true for years is to set them in Quikrete concrete mix. The quickest and easiest way to set your post is to use Quikrete fast-setting concrete. Because there is no mixing, you simply pour it into the hole dry, then add water. When digging your post hole, it is important that the diameter of the hole be 3 times the width of the post. So the hole for a 4-inch wood post should be about 12 inches wide. The depth of your hole should be 1/3 to 1/2 the post height above ground. So a 6-foot tall fence would require a hole depth of at least 2 feet. It is also recommended to add about 6 inches to the hole depth for the addition of gravel. Once you have dug your post hole, add about 6 inches of Quikrete all-purpose gravel into the bottom of the hole. using a post or 2x4. Set the post into the hole, then use a level to position the post perfectly vertical. Fill the hole with Quikrete fast-setting concrete up to 3 to 4 inches below ground level. Next, pour about a gallon of water into the hole and allow...
To Indonesia now, where family members of the crew of a sunken submarine are mourning the loss of the 53 people on board. The vessel was found broken into 3 pieces off the coast of Bali on Sunday. It disappeared after requesting permission to dive during a torpedo drill. The reason for its sinking is not yet clear. But relatives have gathered for prayers to pay tribute to their loved ones. One family member is calling on the government to return the body of their son, who gave his life to public service. Navy officials received signals from the sub's location more than 800 metres deep, but there was no chance of survival. Well, the Navy has released a new video which shows the men singing on board the submarine. The exact date of the video is not known. The men are singing a well-known Indonesian song called Sampai Jumpa, which is a song saying goodbye. Very poignant seeing those sailors singing that song in that video being released there by the Navy. President Widodo says the nation feels a deep sorrow for those on board.
I send my deepest condolences at the passing of 53 Navy members on board NRI Nanggala 402, fallen during an assignment in the waters north of Bali. The country will award the men by promoting them one rank higher. The warriors will also be awarded a Star Medal for their services and contribution. The government will also sponsor the education of crew members' children until their bachelor degrees.
Sitting under a state of emergency
I'm gonna stop recording and upload this.